amazing Australians and the story of their lives. You're tuned to Lots to Chat About with Rosemary Peterswald.
Hello and welcome, listeners. Jan Bradnam OAM is a lady of many talents. Back in the 1970s, she co-founded Bradnam's Windows and Doors, an iconic manufacturing empire she started with her ex-husband Bill out of a humble backyard shed in Hervey Bay. 4 decades later, they scaled the venture into one of Australia's largest suppliers of aluminium windows and doors for the construction industry. And now her family is heavily involved, allowing Jan to spend more time on the many, many charities she supports, including being part of a group that sponsors refugees escaping war-torn countries like the Congo. Welcome, Jan.
Thank you.
It's just lovely to have you chat to us today. Now, tell us a little bit, where were you born and sort of where did you grow up, Jan?
I was born in Brisbane and grew up in Camp Hill, which was a real big satellite city, satellite sort of suburb in those days. I think Camp Hill Primary School, where I went to school, was the biggest school in Queensland when I was there.
Oh, right.
I actually just went to their 100th year anniversary a couple of weeks ago now. Yeah, they had a big fete.
Oh, how terrific. So how did you end up in Hervey Bay when you started the company?
There was a business for sale that caught our eye, and we purchased that business, and that's how we left Brisbane to go there when our kids were tiny.
Oh, right. I saw a photograph, actually, on the internet of you there when you first started it in the 1970s. I think it was in a shed in the back garden or somewhere, wasn't it?
It was, originally we had a little shed in just a little industrial estate, but we bought a house in the main street and built our factory in the backyard. Yeah.
Oh, so and it's grown.
It's still there. It's still there, actually. That factory. We've got there's a charity that's in there at the moment.
Oh, right. Well, yes, of course, you've got a huge one now down the Gold Coast, but we'll come back to that later. But now, Jan, you've just returned from Sydney, where you were recognised for your work with refugees. I believe that you've just brought a family into Australia from war-torn Congo. Is that right? And tell us a little bit more about them.
Well, we didn't exactly bring them in. We brought them in under a government-sponsored program called CRISP, which is about community groups sponsoring and welcoming refugees.
Right.
The government actually brings them in as part of the United Nations sort of allocation.
Yes.
That they have, but it's mainly modelled off a Canadian program whereby it's been very, very successful, with community groups taking over the lion's share of the work that's involved with integrating refugees into the community, and you've got to fundraise and support them for 12 months.
Right.
Once they arrive. But what you don't bargain on when you take them on is how much work's involved. But it's been for us a massive ride, up and down hills, up sort of hills and down dales. Yeah.
It would be. It'd be enormous. I mean, there's so much red tape to cover, and just settling them in. And I presume
I've
there
never
are children.
I've never been in a Centrelink office in my life, and
Right.
I think I've lived there for the past 12 months, and I've had more hospital visits in this 12 months taking them with their different issues than in my 78 years, I think.
Right. And there would be children, of course, I would imagine, involved as well, who've got to be settled into schools. And
no, well, this family was parents and 4 adult children.
Right.
So all the children were adults. We did want the family with the cute kids, which I think most people who sponsored them prefer that, and I would have loved that. But we asked which were the hardest families to place.
Right.
And it came up as single adults, believe it or not, were the hardest to place. So in refugees, this is not migrants generally, but with refugees. And we thought, well, we'll take this family because they've got 4 single adults, but they all came out together.
Right.
But then we had the funniest thing happen was the daughter, the eldest daughter, who was 26 at the time of arrival, when she went for her pre-flight medical, not her previous medicals that worked out that she was healthy enough to come to Australia, but the pre-flight, just to check that she was capable of flying without any medical issues, she found out she was pregnant
Oh,
at
right.
that, like this is 2 days before they arrived. So we got our cute baby after all,
Oh,
because 9 months later I was in the birthing suite with Aline, and she
oh,
popped out this gorgeous little girl who's now 4 months old. So,
oh.
yeah.
How lovely. Language, of course, would be a barrier, I would imagine. So that's where you would come in, being very helpful.
Oh, yeah. Well, the parents don't have hardly any English at all, but the 4 children do. The adult children can speak quite well English, and they all learnt off the TV, believe
And
it or not.
with American accents.
Yep, one of
That's
them speaks totally with an American accent.
I know. It was interesting. We spent my husband and I spent a bit of time on our boat in the Med and going into various countries, and whether it was in Sardinia or Turkey or wherever. So many people spoke English, but they all spoke with an American accent because they learned by watching the soapies or whatever it is on the TV. But Jan, now I'm just going to go back a bit of time because your marriage broke up, and so you were pretty much left, were you, to run the business on your own? I mean, or did Bill stay involved then?
For a little while, not that long.
Right.
And then he quickly came back. And we've run it together,
Yeah.
continued to run it together all those years, believe it or not. Somehow we managed against all odds to go through a divorce and to hold the business together. And that was probably one of the hardest times in my life to, just emotionally to be present with him, growing this business when it was also so raw,
Oh,
and I was very needy at the time. So
yes.
yeah, but we got through it. So
It
we're
looked.
good friends now.
Oh, it's hard enough running a business with your husband. Rob and I ran a business together for many, many years, a number of businesses, but real estate business for a long, long time. But we found it difficult to, sort of work out what was business and what wasn't. But
My sister was a marriage counsellor, and she used to say to me, "Your marriage is your business, and your business is your marriage." Like that, there wasn't any boundaries
oh,
anywhere.
all
And I
right.
think that was was a strange thing for her to say, but I think it was really actually true. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's actually well worth remembering. So you've married again, haven't you, Jan?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, I have. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
terrific. And
So,
your twins.
and he has 2 now. So yeah.
Oh,
Um,
it's all
yeah. So it's
worked out.
worked out pretty well. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfectly actually. Yeah.
And your twins, Ash and Luke, I mean, now they've been heavily involved in the radio and TV industry, haven't you? So how did that come about? I mean, they're not involved so much in Bradnam's, as they've sort of gone out on their own.
No, they haven't been, and Well, I think it might have been in them right from tiny little things. I know Deepak Chopra once said, I was at a seminar of his, and he said, it's every parent's responsibility to see what their kids are naturally meant to do and get out of the way and let them follow it.
Right.
And I guess I was so busy, I was too blind to see that. But they used to play when they were little, and they'd hold up a hairbrush or something and interview each other, and they wouldn't only be playing football, they'd be commentating on it at the
Right.
same time.
Right.
So yeah, after was the last thing we ever thought of, that they'd make careers in radio. But when I look back on that early time, I can see that it was there all along. Yeah.
Oh, how lovely. And they dobbed you in. One of them dobbed you in because I believe you met Prince Charles at the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games and told him what you thought of the opening ceremony. But you also told him that when you were little, you said you were going to marry him. So what reaction did you get?
I told him at the for some reason or other, after I had got my OAM. At Government House, they sent out invitations to everybody that was born in the same year, who'd got an OAM, who was born in the same year as who's now King Charles,
Yes.
because he was coming out, and we had a reception.
All
And
right.
it was at that reception that I was amazed with him. He walked around the room and spent like about 3 minutes chatting to everybody in the room. There was a bunch of us,
Right.
and just in the most, he was just absolutely gracious, and he held my hand and said something. Can't remember what, and I said, "Oh, when I was a little girl, I thought I was going to marry you," and he said, "Oh, pity I didn't know that."
Oh, how lovely. No, he always looks as though he's having a ball these days, much more so than, when he was much younger. But you see so many photos of him absolutely laughing out loud. So, no, I think that's a lovely story. Now, Jan, you're also very involved in the Gold Coast community, and you've started a couple of women's groups. Tell us a little bit about them, because I think you said to me when I chatted to you before, everybody has a story, and this women's group.
Everybody's life is interesting.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
yes,
When you unfold it and just look into, the trajectory of everybody's life, every one of them is uniquely different, and always just fascinatingly interesting how people go from this to that to that to that, and then everything seems to somehow work out.
It is extraordinary. I sat in one of those groups. In fact, very luckily was asked to talk at one of the groups. And as I said, everybody has a story, but this just happens to be mine. But one of the women there at this the Gold Coast Women's Group works very, very closely with the Hopeful Hospice, which I know is also something that you hold close to your heart. Can you tell us a bit?
She's one of my very best friends, and her and her ex-husband, the Reverend Dr. Ian Maver, started it. And, well, I was there at the very first meeting, and we went right through until it was it's probably about 7 years ago now, Ian died, the husband died, and a few years after that, we kept it going for another couple of years, and Deirdre decided that she'd gift it away to Wesley Mission Queensland, and they took over.
Right.
So that was the story with it, but it was the first hospice, or the only one,
Yes.
for all those years that was on the Gold Coast. And yeah, it was quite a journey. And also the charity Paradise Kids, which Deirdre has retained, which runs grief and loss courses for children
Right.
who are going through, lost a parents died, or
Yes.
going through a divorce, which is probably the majority of the kids these days that go through the courses.
Right.
Yeah.
I spoke to, I think it was Deirdre I spoke to, and, she said she's got so many wonderful stories of, chatting to people in the hospice and hearing their story. And I think she was thinking of putting something together, which would be because, it goes back to everybody has a story, and at the end of your life, it's, good to be able to share it.
Yeah, there's been so many women that I've spoken to who I say, "Oh, would you like to speak? We'd love to hear your story." And they say, "Oh, I haven't done anything. My life's really boring. I haven't,
Yes.
I couldn't stand up there." And when you actually do chat with them, it's amazing what they've been through in their lives, that they've just, not, I don't know whether they haven't acknowledged it or
Yes.
whatever, but yeah.
It's
So, yeah,
it's
good.
a wonderful
Good work,
thing.
because
Yes, wonderful to be able
it's
to.
kind of inspirational, I think, to hear someone's story and to just acknowledge how rich the world is, how full.
Exactly, and in that particular group where I was, just for the day, there was so many people from so many different parts of the world, apart from anything else. And I went out the other day with another group, and I spent a lot of time in New Guinea, and back in the 60s, 70s, and there were 3 other women there, I think, that also had spent time in New Guinea. So everybody, as you say, has a story. But now you're listening to Lots to Chat About. I'm Rosemary Peterswald, and my guest today is Jan Bradnam OAM. Now, Jan, there is a funny story that I read because listeners would
You know
laugh
more
about
about
this.
me than me.
I know, I Googled you. I said, have you ever Googled yourself? And she said no. Anyway, tell us about the time that you went out to buy a plant and then you came home to tell your husband you actually hadn't bought it. Or you might have bought the plant, I don't know, but you'd also bought a house.
I didn't get the plant. I didn't even... I headed off to the nursery, and then I remembered this auction that was on of this house that I had liked. I hadn't seen it before, but I liked it when I saw it in the paper.
Right.
I used to be really fascinated with real estate, and I did. I headed off to the nursery. I detoured up to Currumbin, and I'm at Main Beach, so I was nowhere near actually this house, and I detoured off there, and an auction was on, and I actually bidded on the auction and got the house and had to come home and tell my husband I'd bought a house.
And what reaction did you get?
Story. He's very calm.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah, he is. My first husband was
Not
is
so.
the complete opposite. So I'm not used to such calmness.
Right. Now, by coincidence, Jan, you and your son Ashley enrolled in the same script course. Is that right? Tell us how that happened. And then I believed you ended up writing a script together called Subdivision.
That's right. We both turned up at this particular seminar. This guy was coming out that from America. I can't even think of his name now, but he taught script writing for movies.
Right.
And Ashley and I and my current husband all turned up at this script writing course together. And I think over morning tea or something there, we said, oh, let's have a go at writing a script, which we did.
Yes.
And we finished up making the movie. So that was a very exciting little chapter.
Oh, absolutely. And in
of our lives. And we shot it in Harvey Bay. And that's where we started our business, in Harvey Bay.
Right.
And so it felt like a bit of a payback to the town, to thank the town for the great start that we got and the life we had up there. Yeah, it was a great life, bringing the children up in Harvey Bay.
It's a wonderful part of the world. I've been anchored out the front there for quite a while over various times, but a beautiful part of the world to bring children up. Jan, your granddaughter, I believe, is a second or third generation Bond University student. So your daughter was one of the first that went there, I gather.
That's right. She was first, and then I went and enrolled there as a mature age student.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was, I don't know, in my late 40s at the time. This was when the marriage broke up. Right. Just after that was something else to do with my life. So I was there for some of the time with Peter. We actually graduated together, believe it or not.
Oh, right.
We graduated together.
What did you study, Jen?
Psychology.
Oh, right.
I got right into the psychological processes of separation and divorce, and I finished up running some courses for Lifeline for years, just as a sort of a voluntary thing for people who were rebuilding their life when their marriage broke up.
Right.
Went on for years.
What a terrific thing to do, and takes a lot of courage to turn around and start to do something like that, and of course be much older than so many others students there at the time.
And Ashley came along before I finished my study as well. He started studying there journalism, and he met his wife there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she was she She was in my psychology classes. So, and she finished graduating as sort of, she got a
Yeah.
PhD there as well, went right through. And then now Tilly is the granddaughter, the first grandchild, and she is now a doctor. She's
Oh,
just finished her GP courses. So,
right.
yeah.
So you've got
Yeah,
a great bond with Bond University, haven't you?
we do, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's
certainly
been a big
something
part of
that
the family.
Alan Bond left a terrific legacy there.
He did, didn't he? He
Yeah,
might have been a scallywag, but he certainly left a great heritage.
he certainly did. Now, Jan, one of the topics that came up in the women's group that came through to me the other day, which you're part of, is the relationship between mothers and daughters. I mean, I laugh when I read and read that. I mean, we look at old photographs, don't we, of our mothers, and we first notice the fashions and sort of perhaps the hairstyles, etc. But then you have a little look closer and you can see, oh my God, that's me. And my daughter actually now, well, I've got two daughters, two beautiful daughters, but one particularly says to me, oh my God, Mum, I heard myself talking the other day and I was you. It's very true, isn't it?
Yeah, can be.
It's one of those things that comes back to haunt you. Now, Jan, what other charities are you involved with?
Well, I'm just trying to think back. One of the things that we did at one stage was I got involved with a Greek Orthodox priest who went over to Sierra Leone to work amongst the poor.
Yes,
And he's done some absolutely extraordinary work over there, helping women who to earn a living by giving them a sewing machine, and they
right.
could make little bits and pieces to sell at market and things like that. So that was very moving. I went over there and stayed with him for a while, and it was just a life-changing experience, really, to just watch this wonderful man. He used to be a pop star of some sort with a band called the Cockroaches,
All
which
right.
I'd never heard of, but they
In
were
where?
apparently down in Melbourne or
All right.
something.
Have you heard of them,
Like,
Paul?
I have not. Actually, I may have. I'll have to look them up because I'm not.
yeah,
I know the name, but I
I
haven't.
had to look them
Don't
up
know the
too because
music.
it was such a bizarre name.
I don't
Yeah,
like the name. I'm trying to get rid of
oh,
cockroaches
it's
all the
awful,
time.
isn't
But they
it? And another thing that we've done is build a house for unwed babies over in Samoa
all
with the
right.
Samoan Victim Support Group.
Yes.
So I rallied Bradnams together, and we got obviously we got all the windows donated, but we got a lot of other building products donated too,
Right.
and took containers over to Samoa and built this house, and it was lovely. It was a beautiful place, and yeah, it was just something that apparently over there the communities reject unmarried mothers, and
Right.
they've are
Yes.
really stigmatized and traumatized and so on. So this was a place that they could stay safely to give birth, and then the babies were either adopted out or whatever else, but kept at this baby house for until arrangements were made, however it worked out. So
Oh, how
yeah,
wonderful.
that was a funny experience all around because we were on the ground, and some of the building techniques over there just left the um,
It's a little bit
just couldn't
haphazard. Yes.
you couldn't believe it. Like, I mean, we took over these absolutely magnificent windows. They were just
Yes.
absolutely stunningly beautiful. And I was walking around looking at the um, slab, the cement
Yes.
slab,
Yes.
because it was on the ground. And I said, I can't see. Where's all where's the plumbing and anything coming
Yeah.
out of the slab? And they said, we do that later. And I
Right.
said, what do you mean? And nobody explained any further. And I went back, a little while later, and the frames were up. and they put the windows in, some of the windows in that day
Yeah.
that I was there. And the next day, a guy came along with a jackhammer. This is a true story.
Right.
And started jackhammering up channels to put the plumbing through out of the
Right.
slab.
Right.
They,
And that's how they
hadn't
do it.
Sort of. That's how they do it. They do it after, and all these windows they arrived with plastic over them to protect them.
Yes.
But they ripped all that off. So all these stones from where they're jackhammering the slab were just slamming into these brand new windows.
Oh, gosh. Did it all survive?
I did, and
Yeah.
it was lovely. It was lovely when it was completed. It was
Yes.
beautiful.
What a
They're
lovely
great
thing.
fun.
It's a lovely thing to do, and for you to be, to go over there, apart from a few hassles, to be able to see it. So, Jan, I was going to ask you, I mean, from that tiny little factory or room or whatever it was that you started Bradnam's back in Hervey Bay, where are you now? I mean, you must employ a lot of people.
We've got about 2,000, I think, people, and we've got factories all over the place, excepting for WA.
Right.
We're not in there in any significant way. We might have a couple of
Yes.
licensees over there, but everywhere else in the country, we've sort of, got factories or showrooms or whatever else. So it's quite mind-boggling for us because we're, both two kids. We went to junior at school.
Yes.
Before I went back to uni, as a mature age student. But that's all the education. So
isn't that extraordinary?
It is.
It's a wonderful, wonderful story, really. And, apart from the wonderful success of your business, Jan, it's also been, how you've helped so many different charities and people and whatever along the way. But sadly, we have run out of time. Paul's waving to me through the window. Thank you, Jan Bradnam, for being my guest today. Thanks, Paul, for producing.
Thank you.
This program has been recorded in the studios of 4RPH Reading Radio in Brisbane for syndication around Australia and will be available on my YouTube channel, Lots to Chat About, with Rosemary Peterswald. But thanks, Jan.
Thank you.
Great friends and great chats. That was another Lots to Chat About with Rosemary Peterswald. Stay tuned next week for another amazing chat.